Good afternoon, Pinecrest families. Principal Rudden here. Happy Wednesday. Just wanted to first say what a great start to the school year it's been. There's always some turbulence, of course, as we get this plane off the ground, but we've really appreciated, the grace that you've provided us, and also just the collaboration and support that you've provided through the first few days of school. A lot of positive things happening. I know our staff is full of energy and can't wait to continue to move forward in the 25-26 school year. So again, it's been an incredible start. We have gotten some feedback, even though the first 2 days of Car Loop, knock on wood, have been pretty good and seamless overall, all in all considered. But there were some things that we wanted to point out, so we're going to do just a quick drive around, some do's and some don'ts, and just go over some things that we want you to be informed on, so you're aware of best practices. So thank you again. All right, the first place we wanted to start is right at the beginning of Car Loop, which is on Taylor Street. A couple things. Number one, please continue to give our gentlemen that are out here in the heat, working their tails off, grace. They're trying to get people in and out as efficiently as possible. They really do a great job. At the beginning of the year, there's always some changes that need to be made as well with the light on Taylor. We have emailed the city a month ago, and we've emailed them again recently. So they're working on getting someone out there to change the timing of that. Once that gets changed, that will also expedite the process and allow us to get families into our campus and then off of our campus more effectively. But we're doing the best we can. When it gets backed up, they do try to release at appropriate times. Sometimes there's students that they need to let across. But again, try and be patient with them. We appreciate that. The other important part is right here across the street on Taylor, this side area, this is not a pickup or drop-off zone. It's very impeding for the rest of the traffic that's trying to get through, and it's dangerous for students to walk across there. So again, this side area, we often get families that park on the side. That is not an authorized pickup or drop-off zone. So we have been working with Henderson Police Department. There's potential that you could receive a ticket. So park there at your own risk, but from a school standpoint, we just ask that you do not park there because it does impede traffic coming both ways. And now that we have a through road going all the way to Water Street, there is more two-way traffic that is happening, so it only delays the process. All right, we're now at the back entrance to the Car Loop. This is the end of kind of this Taylor Street strip and the back entrance of our Car Loop. Again, we know now that we have a through road, we have traffic coming in both directions that are trying to enter into the back end of our Car Loop. Parents, sometimes this side gets backed up, sometimes the other side gets backed up as well. Just try your best to work together as a community. The side that's coming from this direction on Taylor needs to stay in the right lane. We have people trying to cross over into the opposite lane. The best you can, if you're turning from this side, try to stay in the left lane. I know it's a tight turn, but again, we got to work together to get into the back of the Car Loop at the beginning in the morning. Secondly, this is not a drop-off area. Dropping off students in this little section over here, or just stopping because you're frustrated because it isn't going as quickly as you'd like. There's no crosswalk here. There's nobody back here to support. And it's putting everybody in an unsafe position, and there's no one to man that area. We have the city coming out tomorrow. We're working with them on ways that we can continue to elevate the safety and security of our Car Loop. And so we hope we have a rich conversation tomorrow, and they'll be able to provide us some insight. But again, there's no sidewalk. This is not manned, and it's very dangerous to have students crossing there. So again, the only safe way to go through our Car Loop is to go through all the way around to the front and drop your students off that way, not on the side of the road. All right, so now we're at the back entrance to our parking lot for our secondary building. This entrance area is strictly for staff and students only. The only other people that have access to here are some students that may have medical needs. Those have been communicated already to our front office, our nursing staff. They've given documentation, and we give them special passes, usually for a limited amount of time, so that they can drop them off at the front door. But those are really the only reasons somebody should be turning into this area. Otherwise, you want to continue going down the Car Loop and loop around. All right, family. So we're now at the back of the Car Loop. You see in front of me, these are all parking spots. We have been lucky enough to be able to keep these free. Students don't park here, so this is an area where sometimes parents will stage, especially elementary school parents, before school or after school. If they get here a little earlier and they can find a parking spot, great, fantastic. Just know we do not release those families until 2:55 because the bell for elementary doesn't ring till 3 o'clock. Elementary parents, if you are here before that time, please do not drive slowly through the Car Loop if you can't find a parking spot. If you can't find a parking spot, you're simply going to have to loop all the way around and get back in line. So it's either finding a parking spot here in the staging area or going all the way around. Again, the release time is 2:55, and then the students get released from class at 3 o'clock. So if we can do that, that would be a great help. Thank you so much. All right, families, we're now on the elementary side of our building by Grand Cadence. So again, we know a lot of families tend to park their cars on Grand Cadence. Please know that Henderson Police have been out here the past few days. They've been ticketing people for doing illegal U-turns in a school zone. So be aware of that. We've also been working with the city to get extra signage to notify people of school zones with blinking lights. So that's in the works, and we'll continue to work with them on getting that done because we just have more and more students walking onto our campus. We do have a crosswalk down here that we have monitored as a school. We aren't allowed to stop and control traffic, but we do stop and hold students and help them get safely across the road. So if you do drop your students off across the street, please, please, please have them walk down to the crosswalk. It's a couple extra steps, but we just want to ensure their safety when they're being dropped off to us. So if you park across the street on Grand Cadence, have them walk down to the crosswalk. We'll get them across safely. If you're parking on this side to pick up your students, just be aware if you make that U-turn, and it is illegal in the state of Nevada to make a U-turn in a school zone, and the police are out and they will be ticketing people. All right, families, we're now at the front of our car loop. For secondary families, all the students in secondary, that's 6th through 12th grade, are considered walkers. So we usually get through that car loop in about 10 to 15 minutes when school year gets going. They're able to walk out to the cars. They know your cars. It's easy for them to identify your cars. So they usually get to your car quickly or go to their after school activity. The biggest thing with both secondary and elementary is when you are coming up this straightaway, and really for the whole car loop, you should not be crossing lanes. Once we tag your car or we scan your car, it's important to stay in that lane because that's what allows us to identify what students go where. If you're coming up to the front of the car loop and you're crossing over to different lanes, it confuses us as far as where that student should go. So the way that we can expedite the process is if we work together, please stay in your lane. You'll be directed by a staff member to go into the fire lane if you need to. So if we can't find your student or your student's a little bit later getting out of class for whatever the reason may be, they're stopping to get water, they didn't hear their name, they got confused. It happens, especially at the beginning of the year with the elementary students. We may ask you to pull to the side, but you'll be directed to do that. Don't just go there without someone giving you the clear direction. Otherwise, you're going to want to pull all the way up to the front. The staff, again, we have staff this whole way up. They'll stop you up once you get to the front. And then when every car is parked and stopped safely, then we will release students. The last little piece that would really help, and again, I've mentioned it a few times, is please try to stay in your car. I know you're excited to see your kiddos. Again, especially for the elementary kids, not all kindergartners or younger students may know who's picking them up or what the car is. But if you can stay in your car to the best of your ability, you can roll down the window and wave and yell their name, that's fine. But when families start getting out of their cars, it creates a chaotic situation. Kids' tendency is to want to run to their parent. Cars may not all be stopped. And so please help us to help you keep your kids safe. And by staying in your car, that helps us do that. So, all right, families. So that's kind of our run around of the car loop process, the do's and don'ts. Again, thank you so much, sincerely, for a great start to the school year. I know we're only a few days in, but we've had a lot of positive feedback and great things happening. I know it's going to be a fantastic school year. I look forward to the Rundown with Rudden. That's the winning name, kicking off next Friday. So we'll get that started in the communication with everybody monthly. And just hope that you all have had a great year up to this point. Please reach out if you have any questions or concerns. Otherwise, let's go crush 25-26 school year. Thank you.